Welcome back to part 2. We have just finished the starting up a project process, and now we're ready to continue with the initiation stage. And this is where we basically do the planning for the project. So I will take you through the activities. The first activity here is agree the tailoring requirements. So actually, this project is very heavily tailored, and I'm doing it right in front of you. So I'm not going to do anything else on this. Then we have prepare the approach documents. Normally, in a project like this, you would just copy these approaches from the standard approaches used by all projects in your company and use them in your project. Then we have set up project controls. So this is how the project is going to be controlled. So let's look at how we're going to do this. So let's create a new document here. Call it 06 project controls. And then we can add the project controls data to it, like reports. We will use Trello to show the status of all products, so it's very easy to see then how the project is going on. Regular demos will be shown each Friday AM. Risk and issues, the developer will alert the project manager, and the project manager will contact the executive of any exceptions. The project manager will spend daily between 30 and 60 minutes tracking the project and keeping everything up to date using this platform here. So that's a good simple overview of project controls. It doesn't need to be more complex than that. So let me put here, and we can put the labels as done as well. The next step is to create the project plan, and this will normally take about 80% of the work in the initiation stage. The project manager will organize a workshop and invite the same people that attended the project product description workshop, which were the senior user, so this was a sales and marketing person, a driving school teacher because they can provide extra information, the developer, which is Eric, and me, the project manager. This is an overview of the planning steps, which are, first, we just identified the products using a product breakdown structure diagram. Then we can prioritize the products using the Moscow technique. We'll go over this later. Then add a short description to these products, so that's basically the requirements. Then add the quality requirements. Estimate the time it'll take to create these products. That information will normally come from the developer. And then lastly, we can identify the products to deliver in the very first delivery stage. So for our first workshop, it's a good idea to begin with identifying the products that need to be created and then perhaps prioritize them if we have time. Now, too many project managers try to rush these workshops, so it's important to take your time. And this, if we can get this done in the first workshop, then that's a very, very good delivery. And sometimes it may even take 2 or 3 workshops to create your product breakdown structure. It's a good idea as well to give out post-its to each person and ask them to identify a number of products that they think we have to create, and then review these post-its on a whiteboard. So this here is a list of all the products which we have identified. So we have the WordPress theme, the video to show people how to use the exam simulator, a PayPal module because we'll allow people to buy lessons, driving lessons, online chat tool, the shop and checkout then, trial simulator with 30 questions, hosting, exam simulator module, the register module that will be using the Facebook login ID, marketing text, Google Analytics configuration so we can track who's doing what, the LinkedIn and Facebook login. Perhaps we don't lead LinkedIn, but Facebook definitely. Post results on Facebook, we want that feature. Security module to make sure that our data will not be taken away. The WordPress template that's up here that will be configured. That's an extra deliverable. And then we'll have a page to allow people to book driving lessons as well. So as you can see, nothing else has been added. We just put the title name here, and that's enough. We don't try to prioritize. The first goal is just to list all of the products in one list. Now, normally you can use like an org chart overview to do this, but in this layout, I'm just listing them in a product list like so, and that is sufficient. So the next thing we try to do now is to prioritize these, and I'll just prioritize a few of them so you'll get an idea. So the WordPress theme, well, definitely that's a must because we must need this, or we have to have this for the website. So I will just put in M for must here. The video with the exam simulator showing how to use it, that's very good for sharing on Facebook. So we definitely need this because it'll bring people. It's a good must for a marketing point of view. PayPal module, that all depends on if we expect many people to come and book lessons, but again, it's an important part of the business case, so let's put it as a must. The product will work without it, but we want it as a must. The online chat tool, this is in case people have any questions. Let's put this for a should for now. It's not that critical. Maybe it'll become critical if we maybe later we can see this. Shop and checkout. So if people want to book a driving lessons, sure, we definitely want to make sure that they can check it out. That's a must. The trial simulator questions, I think probably might be handy, but since we have a video and they can just start using the Q&A, maybe that's not so important as must. So let's put it as a should for now. Hosting, definitely. Without hosting, of course, we have to extend our existing hosting to make sure that we can cover extra traffic. Exam seminar module, that's where to put the questions. That's the whole idea of the website. So that definitely will be there. Then register module, that's for people who will register other than Facebook people. So we really want to push the fact that we're getting Facebook people to register. So let's put that as a should for now. That's not so important as long as Facebook users can register. That's it. Marketing text, of course, yes, we'll have to update this to make us look better for the pages. Google Analytics, it's nice to see what we are doing and what kind of people are coming to our site. It's not a must, but we can definitely get some good feedback from this. So let's put it as a should. Then Facebook login, let's change this to Facebook login only because we don't really need the other one, Facebook login, and let's put that as a must, definitely. They post results on Facebook, yes, that's definitely a must as well, because that can bring a lot more people to the website. Security, we don't want our details to be taken away or to be stolen. Let's put that as a must. Template configured, of course, that's it. Up here, oops, keep making the same mistake. And then a driving lessons booking page, sure, that's important as well. Okay, so now actually we can prioritize all of the M and put them at the top and put the should ones at the bottom. Let me do it like this. Okay. And that's our first attempt now at prioritizing these products here that will be delivered by the project. Of course, this can change as we learn more about the products, but for now, this is how we see it. Our next step is to add a short description to these products. So I'll do, let's say, 2 products to give you an example. So let's start with the WordPress theme. So we need some basic information like the following. Let me copy and paste it in to make it a bit quicker, and then I will discuss it. So we start with the title. It's a WordPress theme. The purpose of the WordPress theme is to provide the look and feel and some of the features for the website. So that's very clear. And then the composition of what functionality should be in the WordPress theme. And that is a good description of this product. And that's what we need. Let's do one more. So next, let's choose the PayPal module. So again, I will cut and paste, then I will go over it. So the purpose of the PayPal module is to provide the facility for users to pay for driving lessons using PayPal. The composition is we have to get a module which is good for WordPress. We configure this, so a configured module, and we also have to register an account with PayPal, and the project manager will do this. So again, that gives a good description. So let's close that. And now we can see we've got this little icon here, which tells us that text has been added to these two icons here. Okay. So now when we come back in again, all of these will be filled in. So we continue like that to add the description for each one of the products here. And again, it's the project manager who will facilitate this and extract the information from the users, and also get input from the developer because they have the technical knowledge on what's possible. So the next thing we can focus on is add the quality requirements. And again, I will give you two examples here of adding quality requirements to two products. So let's choose a product. Then we can add a new checklist here. We'll call the quality criteria. Then I will add the first one. Okay, and we can list them all like so. So I will close this and open it again, and it'll show them all listed. So in the meantime, I have copied these to make it easier. So let's go through them. So offer good flexibility and customization, cost between $50 and $100. That's very clear. Feedback, 4 to 5 stars. And so other people who use this theme must give it 4 to 5 stars, and it must have over 10,000 installations. So we're not being the guinea pig for a new WordPress theme. It must have active support by the developer. It must be agreed by the executive, the senior user, and senior supplier. Agreed by Leo. Leo, that's a mistake. That should be the developer. SEO support, responsive layout, so that means we can use it on mobile phones, and it must be compatible with WordPress 4.2 and 4.3. As you can see, these are actually requirements as well, but here we call them quality criteria. So quality information supports the requirements information. They very much are the same when we're describing a new product. Let's now look at the PayPal module. And I have added the quality criteria here. I've also added the quality method, so how we're going to check it once it's done. So just put a semicolon in between. So the module has to be easy to configure. It's got to have 4-star support by the provider. That's easy to see. It's got to have a WordPress plugin, which is again easy to see. Ability to use coupons. Easy to use PayPal module from a user point of view, which we will inspect. It does not store credit card data on our website, which is important because some PayPal payments can be made via credit card, and we don't want the data stored on our site. And it has to be somehow have security clearance by PayPal as well. So listed as one of the modules which PayPal has suggested to use. So again, that gives a very good, clear indication on the requirements, even though it's under quality data. So that's it. The next thing we have to do is to estimate the duration of the product. So how long will it take to create the products? And that usually comes from the developer. So let's start with the WordPress theme. And after speaking with Eric, our developer, he has decided that the duration will be about 10 hours. Okay, so we can add it like that into the product description if we like. However, another feature of this Chrome extension is to be able to add the data to the top of the form like so. So we can add in 10 hours here. Now, if I click on apply, it puts the information on top. So we could have added it there if we needed it. I click on X here, and now it adds the 10 hours to here. So it's very visible. We can see it without opening the card. And it also then gives a total for all of the cards here on the top here as well. And it even includes a total here on the top also. So let's do it now for the PayPal module. I think this was about 5 hours. And I can also put the information into the title itself. Okay, and now this total here is to 15 hours and 15 up here. Let's just add one more example where I put the information on top like so. Let's say it's 6 hours. I can change that later if needed. Okay, and that makes it much quicker as well. So you can add it how you wish to do it. Okay, So we have now completed, let's say, the first two items fully. So I can mark them off like so. Document, labels. Okay, and I will do this for the rest of the products we have listed here as well. But that gives you an idea how we can proceed. Now the next step here is to identify the products for the first delivery stage. But we will do that later after we complete the initiation stage. We have now actually done most of the activities or all the activities in the Create project plan. So we have identified all the products, we have described them, we've added the quality information, we have added a duration for each product as well. So the next thing to do then is to refine the business case. So that means we have to update the outline business case which you created in the starting of a project process and refine it with new information that we've got from the project plan. We have to create a new product here for the business case because this one is for the outline business case. So if I type in business case, then if I add the following information, I have a URL to the business case at the end of stage 1. That's what I have here. I can also then add the business case here if I like in attachments, if needed be. Okay, now we can take a look at the business case by clicking here or here. Let's click here. Now we can review the business case. So I've basically just copied the outline business case to the business case and at the end of stage 1. Now let's go through some changes. I have spoken to the hosting people and the cost is $450, not $420. That's an update on the price that we got. So that's will reduce our benefits a little bit. However, Eric has told us that the cost for website and configuration will not be this, it'll be a bit lower. It'll be 6,200. Okay, so that will increase our benefits for the first year. Okay, and everything else will remain the same. And that's it for the business case at the end of stage 1. So we have redefined or refined the business case after we have done the planning. The next step in the IP stage, or the initiation stage, is assemble the project initiation documentation. So that means to collect all the documentation that we created in the initiation stage and put it into one folder or one map or one place where it can be shared. So this is an overview of the most important documents. So we have all the approach documents if they were used. I didn't use them here. We have the project plan, of course, which includes the product description. So it's the biggest document of them all. Then we have the business case, which is finalized after we complete the project plan. And it's an update of the business case we create here. And we have other documents like project controls and so on. And that all makes up then the PID, which stands for Project Initiation Documentation. So all the documentation that we create in the initiation stage. Then here we have the Benefits Management Approach. Now this is a separate document which just focuses on the benefits. I have one prepared and I'll go through it in a second. And then once we have all that ready, then we can proceed and we can request to deliver a project. So we go back up to the project board and say, can we now continue with the project, and they will review all the documentation. There's one thing left to do then after that, which I will do in the next video, is that we also have to create a plan for the first delivery stage. So the next stage is actually stage 2, but we call it the first delivery stage because that's where the first products are delivered that will be used by the users. And that's done in the stage boundary process. So now let's take a quick look at the Benefits Management Approach document. So this is the Benefits Management Approach document here. I just call it a Benefits Approach document. It doesn't really matter what you call it. Now let's click on the link here and view the document. And I've put it in the same sheet or Google Sheet as the outline business case. So let's read it. So who's accountable for providing the information or providing the results in the Benefits Management Approach? That will be the senior user, Michelle O'Leary. The benefits, well, they will focus on the increase in profit margin each month and year. The baseline information, well, that's easy because we can use the financial report data that we have every year. So that's good. The review method, the CEO will meet with a sales and marketing person each year, or they can, yeah, and the frequency actually is here. They can meet each quarter or year. Okay, and then the information that we're looking for year 1, year 2, and year 3. So we need a 10% increase per month, and overall, this is our yearly increase that we expect to see every year. All right, so that's a good, simple example of a benefits management approach, and basically that's all that we need for this project. We've reached the end of part 2, and the next video will be part 3. We'll begin with planning the first delivery stage. So that's the next delivery stage. See you then.